Hey, what's up, everybody? I haven't made a longer form video on here in a little bit. Excuse my voice. I'm just getting over being sick the last few days. I did, though, want to hop on here and show you what I have in terms of original art that's been created so far this year. The year is incredibly young still. What are we in? The third week, I think, of January, fourth. We're almost done with the month. But I got a bunch of original art commissions and all that kind of stuff, and I thought I'd show you a little bit of the process behind some of these pieces as well. Yeah, I don't know how long this video will be, but I'll try not to keep you here too long. But I also wanted to give you a little bit of a closer look at some of the stuff that I have already posted, most of it on Instagram. So to start, we got this spirit piece. I really enjoy drawing the spirit. He's, for those of you who don't know, the spirit was created by Will Eisner, classic old comic newspaper slash comic book character from the I think in the 40s. The spirit was created, and this is Ellen Dolan, the daughter of the commissioner. And yeah, I just wanted to draw something that was really like adventurous and kind of a little bit clumsy in the way that Will Eisner would often draw the situations that the spirit would find himself in, adventurous and clumsy. And, you know, he's always sort of battle worn and torn. So I tried to get a lot of those elements into this piece, and it was a lot of fun. This is ink and gouache on some, this is not watercolor paper, actually. It's mixed media paper. And this is actually the preliminary drawing. I wound up lightboxing this onto this newer sheet of paper. Originally, I wasn't even going to lightbox it, but after I worked out all the perspective, this was a little bit of a tricky perspective, 3-point perspective. And after that, I realized compositionally, I just wanted to move it to the left, just a smudge. Oh, smudge, I don't know, but that's what I winded up doing. So I redrew it just so that I could move it over a little bit more, and of course finesse certain things as well. So I wound up lightboxing this. So this is a much more detailed preliminary drawing than I otherwise would do. Normally I do them on tracing paper, and they're a lot rougher and looser, but yeah, sort of helped keep the perspective intact and allowed me to be a little bit playful with the original. And by the way, this wasn't for a commission or anything like that. This is just my own little experimental piece. I like to do these originals just for myself, and then later on, I'll probably throw them into an original art sale or something like that. But this one wasn't actually commissioned. But speaking of commissions, this is a commission I just recently finished up last week or so ago. And this is a recreation of a Cheryl Blossom cover. Cheryl Blossom is an old Archie character. And it's funny because this is a cover from the 90s series Cheryl Blossom. That's when I think she was created. And it was a Dan DiCarlo drawing, and I actually had this issue, which is kind of funny. And the person who commissioned me to do this wanted me to sort of update it and do it in my style with sort of like a Riverdale kind of inspired characters. So that's what this is. So in order to kind of keep the typography in place, and just kind of free me up in terms of working on the composition, this is the preliminary, which I wound up doing digitally this time around. It just allowed me to, like I said, kind of keep the integrity of the design elements in place while I could just kind of, you know, riff on the characters. So the original, I'll try to include the original somewhere here. I'm not going to do much editing or any editing on this video, so I might not. But if you want, you could Google Cheryl Blossom. I don't know what number it is. Maybe it's number 1, or just put Cheryl Blossom pizza or something like that. The cover will come up. But it's a great Dan DiCarlo drawing, and I love Dan DiCarlo. But this is a big difference from the original. The original is much more cartoony, and I tried to keep some of those elements at play here. But for the most part, I kind of updated it and made it a little bit more, I guess, Riverdale friendly. whatever that means. But this was done with mainly just, I inked this with a brush pen, actually, most of it, and then various other just pens and stuff. So none of this is like a traditional brush. Most of it is just a lot of these new brush pens that I've been working with, which are like a Kuretake brush pen. I think it's a Kuretake number 2 or number 8. I can't remember. But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and then various other zebra pens. So I signed it, of course, after DiCarlo. Dan DiCarlo is one of my favorites. And then the logo and the typography, I just traced that from the original. So this is a 11 by 17 finished commission. This is probably going to go out the door tomorrow or so. But yeah, just wanted to show you that along with some of the process. Okay, so since we're talking about process and commissions, here's another commission along with some of the process behind it. This is more like what I do in terms of my preliminary work. This is on tracing paper. I sort of roughed out the composition and the anatomy and hinted at some of the background. And this was just done with pencil, and I wound up throwing ink on there because the pencil was getting real smudgy, and I wanted to, sort of delineate more of those lines. So I threw some ink on there. I don't always use ink on the tracing paper, but this worked out that way. So this is a Jessica Jones commission. Jessica Jones from the original comic, which I think was called Alias. I used to read that when I was younger. I think that was like a Bendis comic. But yeah, the person who commissioned me to do this specifically wanted her, like the camera over her shoulder. And then I decided to add some of that background to it. So it went from this to that. That's the final. So I just light boxed it onto this sheet of Bristol board paper. Most of my commissions, if I don't put color on them, are done with, I use Bristol board paper, Strathmore, and I try to keep it like a 300 ply. I like a vellum finish as well, most of the time. And this was just done with probably very similar pens from the other one. I have so many pens and brush pens and things now on my desk that I'm not really sure which ones I'm using anymore, but it's just a mix of pretty much a lot of things, along with this white Posca marker that I've been really into lately. It gives you some cool sort of like highlights and effects. I kind of like that. I did that with the stars over here. The sky, these black clouds, I kind of just used a, what do you call it, a paper towel, just to rub out some of the, those black areas and get some of that dry texture on the edges over there. I might post a little video about that on Instagram, so look out for that. But otherwise, yeah, 9 by 12 finished commission. This was a fun one. I definitely enjoyed working on this one. And finally, another non-commission, but and another original, all the same. This is Black Canary. I've done a bunch of Black Canary pieces over the last couple of years, so I'm just kind of keeping with that theme. And again, playing around with more of that gouache and ink sort of combination, which I'm trying to just get better and more comfortable with. But I kind of like the way this came out, the simplicity of it. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let me try to get this in focus here. And yeah, played around on that mixed media paper. And yeah, not much to say about this one. It was a fun one. I just drew this straight on to the paper. I didn't have a preliminary tracing paper sketch first. I just kind of worked on it right on the board. But sometimes when they come together that way, I appreciate it. It's one less step. So yeah, that's it for this particular art tour. Let me get all the pieces over here. Like I said, the year is still very, very young. Happy New Year, by the way. But these are the finished commissions and pieces of original art that I've created so far. More on the way. I got some exciting commissions already on my list to get to, and I'm definitely excited about that. So yeah, thanks for watching. It's nice to sometimes throw in a little bit of a longer form video. I've been Posting regular, what do they call them on? Not reels, shorts. YouTube is shorts. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you could watch the same content here on YouTube, which is just shorts. Real quick, I have some new Stay Warm sketchbooks available in the shop. I'm sort of getting through mine over here. Still got a long way to go in terms of filling this whole thing up, but this is what it's looking like so far. Definitely loving my Stay Warm sketchbook. It's good to do my Stay Warm sketches in. These are some studies we were doing in recent months. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you're interested in getting one of your own Stay Warm, official Stay Warm sketchbooks, you could check out the link, the shop link in my bio, and look for that. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.